You are now in tune with Mamba Radio.
Tell me who that nigga if it ain't me. If it ain't a party, then it's finna be. Never had a problem that I couldn't solve. It must be official if I get involved. Quarter pound of fire burning daily. Harder to remember, getting harder to remember. I've been through enough to drive me crazy. I don't think my mama's gonna save me. Maybe I'm not flying, but I'm floating. If we're not headed to the top, where we going? 2 miles an hour, can you picture me rolling? Cause life is so much better when you live in slow motion. While I elevate, may not be on time, but I'm never late. Blazing like the player that you wanna be. Flavor like your baby mama cup of tea. You see the company I'm keeping now. Feeling like I'm dreaming, I keep feeling like I'm dreaming. Don't come around if you don't be around. I've been the man, you believe me now. Maybe I'm not flying, but I'm floating. If we're not headed to the top, where we going? 2 miles an hour, can you picture me rolling? Cause life is so much better when you live in slow motion.
Alright, what up, everybody? Thank you for tuning into BM690 Brown Mama Radio. For those out there who don't know, my name is Jackson, and coming at you guys live from Studio 69. You guys just heard Devils by Sir, one of Top Dog's newest artists who's just put out a new project called November. Make sure it's you guys check that out. Again, the song was called Devils, and the guy's name is Sir. And speaking of Top Dog, a lot happened this weekend. But before we get that, happy Monday, everybody. Hope you all had a great weekend. And a lot happened this past weekend. And like I said, speaking of Top Dog and everything from the past weekend, starting off with the GRAMMYs. I talked about the GRAMMYs a little bit last week and how, they're not the be, although they are kind of important, they're not the be all end all. I guess you can say, judging by my tone of voice and how I'm going into this, the GRAMMYs were, they just were what they were. It was a 60th anniversary for them, which is a great accomplishment, by any means. And it was their first time in New York in I don't know how many years, something for a long time, because usually it's out here in LA. So they celebrated that. But yeah, the GRAMMYs, at least in my opinion, just kind of were what they were. They had a lot of great performances throughout the night, which is always good. Again, from speaking at Top Dog, K-Dot, Kendrick Lamar kicked off everything with a great performance. Not just good. Kendrick really mastered the art of storytelling as far as, lyrically, and now he's really mastered it visually with all his visuals and his performances, not just on the like the not just his video packages and stuff like that, but also with his dancers and performers and all that stuff. It's really amazing stuff, and I hope we start to recognize it for what it is, for the greatness that it is. But again, yeah, a lot of great performances, like I said, from K. Dot, Childish Gambino, SZA, Elton John, and Miley Cyrus. That was actually really good. Kesha had a really strong performance. Logic, that song that he has with Cara, Alyssa Cara, and Khalid, that was a good performance. It's always a good performance for that song, and just a bunch of good performances all throughout the night. Yeah, so Bruno Mars swept the big categories: record of the year, song of the year, album of the year, which is, like I said, he deserved it. It's a good album, I'll give it that. But and again, congrats to all the winners who won for everything throughout the night. But if you go through the winners on your own, I'm not going to go through it here. If you go through it on your own, you'll see that it's just the same old stuff won. The whole thing with the Grammys this year was they wanted it to be it's always music's biggest night, and they want to promote, we embrace the change that happens in music and all this and that. And this, if there was any year to do it, it would have been this year. Music changed so much over this past year, from the last two Grammys, and this, like, with so many more different nominees and so many different types of nominees in these not so different and still traditional categories that they didn't really fit in properly, and so the same old people just won. Like I said before, and I'll say it before and I'll say it again, the Grammys are not the be all end all. Do not feel down or upset if for whatever reason any of the nominees are listening to me tonight. Do not feel down. Do not feel upset. And if you're a fan of any of these artists, do not feel, like I said, don't feel the same way. It does not mean that your favorite artists are still not great. We all know how great they still are, Listen, Jay-Z was one of the, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Jay-Z had the most nominations. I don't think he won anything either. Like I said, that doesn't mean that Jay-Z isn't still one of the greatest hip-hop artists of all time. So that was, the Grammys, like I said, they were what they were. Hopefully, there was some other stuff that happened that was kind of just a little, whatever, in my opinion, like the whole, that reading, the Donald Trump book, that was pretty fucking stupid in my opinion. I get what CBS is trying to do, or what they're trying to do, especially considering that's, they have the Colbert Report or whatever they call the Late Show with Colbert, and James Corden, and how he feels about Trump. I get that, but at the same time, it's like, you can, like, I am in no way, shape, or form a Trump supporter at all, but nights like stuff like that where it's like super forced and super kind of out of place, it just makes it seem kind of desperate, and it's not a good look. But anyway, that was the Grammys. This weekend we also had the Pro Bowl, which the AFC won over the NFC 24-23, thanks to Derek Carr, baby. Raider Nation. The Raiders' own Derek Carr threw the game-winning touchdown pass. I don't know who it was to, because I did not watch a second of the Pro Bowl. Sorry. I mentioned it last time. The Pro Bowl is so far and beyond the worst of the all-star games that, sorry. The NFL is so far behind right now on so much stuff. They really need to figure that shit out, because how can they claim they're the most popular sport, and then yet their all-star game is like literally the worst? No one watches it. I don't know anyone that watches it other than, fucking degenerate gamblers who, and then even then, if you're betting on the Pro Bowl, you have a serious problem. Pro Bowl, they got to figure that out. They tried to bring back the skills challenge, but no one watched it. Sorry. It is what it is, and they got to figure it out. They had the Grammys with the Pro Bowl, and then now on to the big thing I wanted to get to was the Royal Rumble, which I'm sure everyone's talking about, and I'll get to why. Unless you've been living under a rock, you won't know why, especially if you're sports or a wrestling fan or whatever, what have you. But for the Royal Rumble, I think that Vince McMahon was too caught up in all the XFL stuff or something like that, because this was actually a fun and properly booked Royal Rumble. That's the consensus coming out from it, was that it was actually, people actually had a good time. You know, the Philly crowd made it great, and they just showed you the power of a great crowd. You know, you've seen some over the years, so many pay-per-views and Raw and SmackDown tapings where the crowd is completely dead and just brings down the whole vibe. But the Philly crowd, shouts out to you guys. They were completely into it the entire night. Sure, they were kind of smarky, but that's fine as long as you're into it. They were still having, it was a great time. It seemed like it was a great time there. But yeah, just a really good, fun pay-per-view to kick off the road to WrestleMania. And hopefully it can set the tone for the rest of the year as far as how, you know, as far as good pay-per-views go. And like I said, I'm on that vicious cycle with WWE where I get my hopes up, then they bring me back down, then I'm like, you know what, they can only go, you know, I do that, I always do it. So hopefully it's gonna, like I said, it'll set the tempo for the rest of the year, and we can have a great schedule. But as far as this goes, the road to WrestleMania is on the right track. Quickly going to go through the undercard first, starting off with AJ Styles. Got the win over Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn on a relatively controversial finish. It was pretty obvious that Kevin Owens was not the legal man, but he still pinned him. So we'll have to see. We'll see where that takes us. The Usos won in the 2 out of 3 falls match over Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin. I don't even know what to say about that, because I was completely convinced that they were going to take the belts off the Usos, especially considering one of them got the DUI. I can't remember which one. And also for the fact that it's like, why would they break up American Alpha and then replace Jason Jordan with Shelton Benjamin, who is essentially the same guy, if they're not going to push? It's just weird. It makes no sense to me, so I don't know what they're doing with that. And then speaking of Jason Jordan and them, Jason Jordan and Seth Rollins lost their belts, the Raw Tag Team Championships to Cesar, the Thwith Cyborg, and Sheamus. So we'll see where that goes, because apparently they're just really trying to make Jason Jordan the biggest heel in the worst way possible, and it's obvious that he's a scapegoat, so that way he can be the guy that everyone boos instead of Roman Reigns, but obviously that's not going to work. So we'll just see where that goes with Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan. Please do not tell me that they're going to get a WrestleMania match, because that will be absolutely horrible. Yeah, so much no with that. And then we also had the Universal Championship match, where Brock Lesnar, the triple threat match between Brock Lesnar, Kane, and Braun Strowman, and it went exactly the way you thought it would. Which is. Can't complain about it, because it's hard to complain, since it's exactly what we wanted, but it's kind of like, at least give us something a little different. Like, don't make it so obvious. But anyway, either way, Lesnar's still the champ. He's going to face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, but not for the reason you think it is if you're listening and haven't seen Royal Rumble. And if you haven't watched it, turn this off now, because I'm about to spoil the whole thing. Alright, I gave you a chance to do it. Now on to the main Rumble, starting off with the men's Rumble. Shinsuke Nakamura won the Royal Rumble. Thank God he won the Royal Rumble. I mentioned it in the last episode. I was hoping he would win, so that way he would be able to face AJ Styles at WrestleMania. And he is facing AJ Styles at WrestleMania. Thank you, God. Thank you. So yes, we're finally going to get the dream match, and please, we all know it's not going to be the main event, but please let it be the main event. Let them just go for 45 minutes. Please let them go for a long time. Just let them have a New Japan style match. Please let it happen. But yes, Shinsuke Nakamura won. He's going to face AJ Styles at WrestleMania. And the Royal Rumble itself, though, it wasn't the best, but it definitely wasn't the worst either. It was a good, it was a good Rumble. It's not gonna be remembered, like I said, it's not gonna be memorable like some of the other ones, but it's gonna be a good one. They had a lot of funny spots, and that's always a good thing to have in the Royal Rumble. Like when Heath Slater kept getting beat up by everybody on the ramp, that was funny. And speaking of the ramp, thank you thank you guys, thank you WWE for making the ramp shorter this year, so we didn't have that debacle that was last year where it took the guys 5 minutes to get down to the ring. So thank you for that, and thank you for being self-aware and learning from your mistakes. But yeah, it was good. They had a lot of good, nostalgia pops and stuff like that. They had a couple of them. A lot of good NXT debuts. They had, they had Adam Cole Bebe show up. And then, I'm forgetting the NXT, the other guy's name. I'm going off top right now. But the NXT champ showed up. I forget his name, the Mexican dude. He's good. And then, with nostalgia, they had the Hurricane show up, which was freaking hilarious. I know me and we were cracking up. Excuse me, I'm talking a lot. I'm running out of breath. But yeah, it was good. It was good. And it was a good Final Four where it was Shinsuke Nakamura, Finn Balor, who props to Finn Balor. He went, he was the number 2 entrant and made it all the way to the Final Four. So they had Shinsuke Nakamura, Finn Balor, John Cena, and Roman Reigns. And it was good because you knew that we were either going to be really, really happy or really, really pissed off based on who was going to win. So that was good. That was good, the way to tease all the fans. But yeah, ultimately, Shinsuke Nakamura won. And we are going to get the dream match. Hopefully, we're going to get the dream match that we all want. Where it's just Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles, and Shinsuke Nakamura shows the world, or shows the WWE what he's made of. And hopefully they can have a better match than they had at Wrestle Kingdom when they faced each other so many years ago. So yeah, that was the men's Rumble. And then moving on to the women's, the first ever women's Royal Rumble. And it was a good Rumble. I can't lie. It was good. It wasn't, it wasn't anything too crazy. They didn't do anything too stupid, which is good. Lots and lots of returns and nostalgia, that's the only little knock I'm gonna have on it, is that it felt like it relied too heavily on the nostalgia, which was by all means awesome to have for the first one. So many great female wrestlers over the years returned. We saw Trish Stratus show up, Lita showed up, Jacqueline, the Bella Twins returned. We had Molly Holly, Kelly, who else? Vicky Guerrero. Who else? I'm blanking right now. Michelle McCool, and then it was good. It was good. It was good to see all of them come back and stuff like that. But I think if they're going to continue to do the Royal Rumble and with the women, which they by all means they should, I think they should go down to like 20 entrants if they're going to do that. Just because the roster's not big enough, and it's just kind of so many people got lost in the sauce over there on that match, and yeah, like I said, they kind of used up all the different returning superstars because there's the ones that didn't come back for a reason. So yeah, I think they should just cut it down to about 20 this time. That way, it by doing that, it makes the Royal Rumble feel more special because you have to really fight for it, because it just felt like everyone got a chance. And that's the thing with the men's. There's more than 30 men in the roster, so that's why it feels like it's a special thing when they get to be picked to be in the Royal Rumble. So I think they should just go down to about 20 entrants if they next time. But either way, it was, like I said, it was still a good Rumble. It was a good finish. Again, they kind of not copy it. They didn't copy it, but they gave us the same feeling. With the final two being down to Nikki Bella and Asuka, where again, it was going to make everyone really, really happy or really, really pissed off. But ultimately, they made the right choice. Asuka got the win. Okay, yes, Asuka is the winner of the inaugural Women's Royal Rumble. Congrats to Asuka. And shout out to Japan. All my Japanese people, shout out to Japan for coming out on top in 2018, taking over the WWE. Shinsuke Nakamura won the men's, and Asuka winning the women's. So shout out to Japan. And again, so they right as Asuka was going to choose which champion she was going to face, they start playing Bad Reputation by, was it Joan Jett? I'm not mistaken. All of a sudden, they started randomly playing I Don't Give a Damn About My Bad Reputation on the radio or on the speakers. Everyone's kind of confused. At the same time, they're not confused because they all know who that is, even without knowing whose music that was, because yes, Ronda Rousey showed up. Technically, she did not lie. She was not in the match. She just happened to show up. made her presence felt. Everyone a huge pop. People were cheering. It was great. And Ronda Rousey spoiled the celebration by pointing at the WrestleMania sign a lot. Literally didn't say one word, but just kept pointing at the WrestleMania sign. Tried to shake Asuka's hand, and Asuka didn't want her handshake. Smacked her hand away. So maybe there's a feud with that down the line somewhere. Went down to go shake Stephanie McMahon's hand. Didn't put her on an armbar this time. Got a handshake from her. Pointed at the WrestleMania sign again. Walked up the ramp. Pointed it again. It was kind of weird. So yes, Ronda Rousey is now officially with the WWE. Don't know in what capacity, what form. We're gonna have to. I guess you're gonna have to tune in to find out. Don't know who she's facing. We still don't know who Asuka's facing. So the assumption is that. Whoever Asuka picks, Ronda Rousey's going to face the opposite champion. It just makes the most sense for Asuka to face Alexa Bliss, and then for Ronda Rousey to face Charlotte. So, I mean, we're going to have to wait and see for that. But yeah, again, overall, pretty good pay-per-view. A lot of fun night, and like I said, hopefully it can just set the tempo and set the pace for the rest of the year as far as pay-per-views go. Like I said, because that's all wrestling wants. At the end of the day, wrestling fans want to have fun. They want to be entertained, and they just don't want to see the same shit over and over and over again. And so we're happy we got some different stuff happen tonight or last night, excuse me. And like I said, we set the tempo. It was a good match. Good Rumble for the women for the first one, good one for the men, and like I said, the road to WrestleMania has officially begun. We're gonna have to wait and see how things go. There's one more pay-per-view, maybe two, one on each side, but who knows? WrestleMania can shape up to be pretty good already. We got one match that we all want. Well, technically, I don't know. We got one match that we all want, one match that we knew was gonna happen, and like I said, it's time for the feuds to start shaping up, and we'll just have to see where things go. And speaking of where things are going, we're gonna go right into one more song, just to kind of break it up for you guys. And then when I come back from this next song, we're gonna go in and see how our LA teams did and how my fantasy teams did. And this song, speaking of LA, this is the new banger from two of LA's finest, Nipsey Hussle and YG. Last time I checked.
Last time that I checked, it was 5 chains on my neck. It was no smut on my rep. Last time that I checked, I was selling zones in the set. Make $250,000, no sweat. Last time that I checked, I'm the streets voice out west. Legendary self-made progress. Last time that I checked, first you get the money, then respect, then the power and the hoes come next. Last time that I checked, I've been self-made from the dribble. I was been saying I'm a killer. Playing no games with you niggas. Pop clutch, switch lanes on you niggas. I laid down the game for you niggas. Taught you how to charge more than what they pay for you niggas. Own the whole thing for you niggas. Reinvest, double up, then explain for you niggas. It gotta be love. Run the city, it gotta be cuz. It's for the pieces I took off the Monopoly board. Hey, y'all niggas false claims, it gotta be fraud. Just keep the hood about your mouth and you gotta be charged. I doubled up, tripled up, nigga what? Banged on the whole game, I ain't give a fuck. Nobody trippin', handle business, got my digits up. And when I drop, you know I'm about to fuck the city up. Check, it was 5 chains on my neck. It was no smut on my rep. Last time that I checked, I was selling zones in the set. Make $250,000, no sweat. Last time that I checked, I'm the streets voice out west. Legendary self-made progress. Last time that I checked, first you get the money, then respect, then the power and the hoes come next. Last time that I checked, come through fly. No cosign, I ain't need radio to do mine. I done fine and I take my time and take my tribe. Every level that I crossed in this game like state lines, it was visionary. Either I'm genius or you niggas scary. Maybe it's both in this balance I deliver daily. For every nigga in these streets trying to feed the babies. The single mamas working hard not to miss a payment. And dirty money get washed on royalty statements. Black owners in this game are powerful racists. Young niggas in the set that's doing it makeshift. Out the garage, it's how you end up in charge. It's how you end up in penthouses, end up in cars. It's how you start off a curb server, end up a boss. It's how you win the whole thing and lift up a cigar with sweat dripping down your face. Cause the mission was last time that I checked, it was 5 chains on my neck. It was no smut on my rep. Last time that I checked, I was selling zones in the set. Make $250,000, no sweat. Last time that I checked, I'm the streets voice out west, legendary self-made progress. Last time that I checked, first you get the money, then respect, then the power and the hoes come next. Last time that I checked,
I got the front and in the back. We on the way and that's a fact. This real, this ain't rap. Where everybody wanna act pro-black. The last lie you heard, this ain't that. This that, I didn't made it out the gutter shit. Nip told you fuck the middleman, I told you fuck a bitch. Fuck wearing they clothes, I wear my own shit. Y'all get on y'all label, I own my own bitch. Hey Mill, I remember all that game you throw me. Don't fuck around and get played by the label owners. Talk that shit to these niggas, Adrian Broner. But secure the window, don't let the game fool you. Cause when it's game over, it's really game over. And all they do is play the game till this game over. And you be giving game like a big brother mission. Never let them take it from us.
last time that I checked, it was 5 chains on my neck. It was no smut on my rep. Last time that I checked, I was selling zones in the set. Make $250,000, no sweat. Last time that I checked, I'm the streets voice out west, legendary self-made progress. Last time that I checked, first you get the money, then respect, then the power and the hoes come next. Last time that I checked.
Alright, again, you guys just heard Last Time I Checked by Nipsey Hussle featuring YG. Again, one of the biggest bangers out in LA right now. And, yeah, speaking of LA, like I was talking about, quickly going to run through how our LA teams did. Not a lot of action from them. They're on the road, so they're traveling a lot. Both of them are. And the Lakers had 2 good wins over the Celtics and the Bulls. Always a good time when they can get a win over a couple rivals like that. Especially on the road. Well, in the Bulls' case, it was on the road. But a tough loss to Toronto the other night. Like I said, it was they fought hard for the whole game, but just kind of the Raptors are pretty damn good, can't lie, and they just came up a little short. But they've been playing better basketball overall, looking a lot better as a team. And like I said, they're on the road for the rest of the week, and let's just see if they can keep that up. And let's see if they can keep that up when Lonzo gets back on the court. And hopefully so. Hopefully he can get back on the court, and hopefully they can keep up all this pretty good chemistry. We all know that the Lakers, they like each other as a team. We know that. We see it on social media and all that stuff. It's just as far as letting it translate onto the court, we'll just have to wait and see how it goes. And like I said, they're on the road for the rest of the week. They're going to be playing a couple tough teams. Let me mix it up. They got the Magic, they got the Nets, and then they got the Thunder. It's going to be, hopefully they can get 2 out of 3 of those wins. That's what I'm hoping for. 2 out of 3. I think which 2 that they should win. But yeah, so that's what the Lakers are doing. Clippers, they're on a 2-game win streak over the Grizzlies and the Pelicans. And speaking of the Pelicans, got to pour one out for Boogie. Tough to see him go down like that. Boogie, as many of you know, is one of my favorite players right now. Definitely my favorite big man in the league. And, like I said, just pour one out for Boogie. And hopefully he can recover or come back and have a speedy recovery and just continue to keep dominating the way that he has been. It's always tough to see. It's tough when a big man always has an injury, and it's even worse when it's a lower leg injury. Especially someone as talented and as athletic and as gifted as Boogie is. But like I said, just hopefully he can come back stronger, better than ever. And tough to see. But yeah, back to the Clippers. Two good wins. Lou Will is still balling. If I'm not mistaken, he had 40 points the other night against the Grizzlies. 40 points against the Grizzlies, and by all means, he should be an all-star. I know that, and especially with Boogie going down, that opened up a roster spot. I personally thought I should have went to Lou Will, but obviously it's going to go to Paul George. He's a more popular guy. Like I said, it's all politics and stuff like that. But, if you're going by the numbers, it's got to be Lou Will. He's averaging like 30 points a game or something crazy like that, all off the bench too. But anyway, Lou Will should definitely be in the All-Star game. But yeah, and then we're still getting good play from Blake and DJ. They're still playing well, especially Blake coming back from injury. But I'm just, the All-Star break's coming up, the unofficial halfway point of the season, and I'm just interested in to see how the rest of the season is going to go for the Clippers. It's because they're in that weird position that, shout out to Max Kellerman. He calls it just like that purgatory where you're stuck in the middle, where you're good enough to make the postseason, but obviously not good enough to win it all. And so, that's kind of where they've been also. I mean, they had more of a chance, but now it's like, obviously they have no chance to win it all. And they just don't want to be stuck in that purgatory where, again, they're good enough to make the postseason, but obviously not good enough to win it all, and they're probably going to get bounced in the first round. And whenever that happens, you get stuck with a relatively bad draft pick as well. And so, like I said, I'm just, that's what happened. Like I said, with Max Kellerman, shout out to him for coining that term or just coming up with this concept. Because it happened to the Knicks, where they would always get in the playoffs, but they would have an early exit, and then they'd be stuck with like some shitty first-round pick, and they could never build their team properly and stuff. So, like I said, the goal is to always win. You never want to purposely lose. I mean, that was the old way of thinking until the Sixers, who did on their own right whiff on a few picks. But obviously they're at where they're at because they lost a lot. And so, like I said, it's just going to be interesting to see what the Clippers' strategy is going forward. So yeah, like I said, I'm just interested in that. They got a few tough games coming up for them as well. They're at home against they got all the home games actually. My mistake. Yeah, they're at home against the Blazers, the Bulls, and the Mavericks. Again, 2 out of 3 for them. They should win these games. But yeah, so that's how our LA teams did. They did pretty well, and I wish I could say the same for my fantasy teams, because it's time for me to make some damn moves, man. I always try to ride with my guys as much as I can, but God, man, this is the tipping point. The break, I got to do it now. Starting with the fantasy league, I went from 8th to 9th place now. Just not some good times happening over here. The MVP of my fantasy league is Embiid, who by all means is playing really well. Whenever he's in the lineup, he's always playing well. Over the last week, he put up 82 points, 42 rebounds, 4 blocks, 9 assists, which is good. Made 5 threes, which is good also. Making his free throws 65%, good for big man, and his field goal percentage at 51%. But like I said, Embiid's just getting it done. When he's on the floor, he's getting it done. Now, when I say that, he's out tonight, which is gonna suck. Which sucks for me. He's out tonight. But yeah, like I said, when he's on the floor, he definitely does some damage. And so hopefully he can just continue to be healthy going forward. So he can continue to dominate the way he is. But that was my MVP for the week. My LVP for the week. It's split. Co LVPs between Kyle LaQuinn and Nick Young. Now Nick Young, one of my favorite players of all time. I love Nick Young. And for all these guys who are out there who want to talk about where they get their style from, this and that, Russell Westbrook for sure, but you have to say Nick Young. Nick Young, you have to put him out there as one of the top guys who as most influential players off the court, as far as what he's wearing, his style, his swag, his steez, all that stuff. Nick Young, very, very influential, but I'm out here trying to win some money off of fantasy leagues, so I'm sorry, Nick. I might have to make some changes. I love you, Nick Young. I love you, man, but I might have to make some changes unless you can start making some threes. And the same thing goes for Kyle LaQuinn. Pretty good, but he's just, I know he was a little hurt, but just even then, he only gave me 4 points, 5 rebounds, and that's about it. Nick Young only gave me 11 points. And like I said, I'm trying to win some games here. I might have to make some changes, not just with those guys, but a lot of guys on my team. And the same goes for my NBA league, for the Mawish League. Finally no longer in first place, and it freaking sucks. I'm in 3rd place now in the NBA. And it sucks. It really sucks. Because a lot of my guys played well this week. I just happened to sometimes it happens that way. There is no LVP for me this week. I don't want to give it to guys who are injured because they undeservedly they don't deserve to be considered the LVPs. If you're not playing, you can't hurt the team or anything like that. And they're injured. What do you want me to say about it? But my MVPs for the week, co-MVP, LeBron James, always. This week he finished with 79 points, 27 boards, 32 assists, 19 turnovers. Pretty yucky, but I mean the Cavs are just a big mess right now. So I mean, what can he do? He's trying to do the best he can, making his free throws, making his field goals, and then the other co-MVP, my main man Dame Dollar, 85 points, 13 threes. My man is just balling right now, really trying to show off and prove that he's an all-star. 17 assists, 9 boards. Like I said, making his threes, making his free throws, and you already know he's going to make his field goals. Dominating out there. And, so that's how it is. I really got to make some moves. I got to figure this stuff out. Like I said, I'm definitely going to hit the waiver wire, just make some transactions. I don't know if I'm making any trades because, they already see that daddy's injured and wounded, so they won't want to help me out as best they can. So, going to have to definitely get going. So if you got any suggestions for me out there, hit me up. Let me know. That's how it all went down for me this week. Wish I could have done a little bit better on fantasy, but hey, just the way it goes sometimes. So yeah, that's it for me this week, that's it for me today. I'll be back later in the week. Like always, thank you for listening. Thank you for just rocking with me in general. Like I said, I say it every time, but I really, really do appreciate it. And if you want to keep listening, make sure you subscribe on SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, all that stuff. Anywhere you find podcasts, I'm pretty much there. And like I said, make sure if you want to yell at me or anything like that on any of my takes, or if you want to give me some more suggestions on who I should pick up for my fantasy teams, because I need it. I really, really need it. Make sure you follow along on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Follow along there, and just like I said, hit me up at any time. I don't give a shit. You can talk to me, and please let me know. And like always, everything is available on brownmama.us. Gonna definitely try to update it a little bit. I feel like it's getting a little time for me to change it up again. It's just, I guess that's my ADD kicking in. Like always, don't just have a good week, make it a good week. I'm gonna play you guys out to the new song that just dropped this morning. Two of my favorite artists, two of my favorite musicians collaborating on this song. Chromeo and The Dream just put out a new song called Bedroom Calling. I'm going to play you guys out with it. It's a good song. Hopefully put you in a good mood for the rest of the week. And like I said, don't just have a good week, make it a good week. Make sure you guys get your bets in for the Super Bowl this week before the odds change too much. I'm going to be coming with that preview of the Super Bowl on Friday. Again, this is Bedroom Calling by Chromeo featuring The Dream. I'll catch you guys on the next one.
Bedroom calling, better pick it up. 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 Bedroom calling, better pick it up.
Radio killer, la la. You need my time, and I'm here to watch. I could be here every day. Johnny on the spot. Just name the place and show your face. First I had no clue about you, now I'm all brand new about you. I could be my little role play, tryna be cool but you too plain. Burning up this life of mine, head to toe, competition ain't even close. You know that I want you, girl, you know that I need you, girl, you know that I care. I could be anywhere, but I wanna be here with you, girl. My mind's here and there, but I wanna be here with you, girl. It's okay, let them step there. I wanna be here with you, girl. Girl, you always set my love on fire, 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 talk to fire, talk to fire. Girl, you always set my love on fire. Pitch me, babe. Say I'm dreaming. All these girls out here, I know they scheming. They not like you. You should be celebrated. Tonight is going down, and it feels like we elevated. I know that I want you, girl. You know that I need you, girl. You know that I care. I could be anywhere, but I wanna be here with you, girl. My mind's here and there, but I wanna be here with you, girl. It's okay, let them step in. I wanna be here with you, girl. Girl, you always set my love on fire.
Bet you calling, bet you balling, bet you
calling. Such confusion, nothing solid. Too hard to know what's right from wrong. So baby, talk to me, come on. 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 So baby, talk to me, come on. Talk to me, come on. Talk to me, come on. Baby, talk to me, come on. So baby, talk to me, come on. Bedroom calling, better pick it up. 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 Bedroom calling, better pick it up.
Grab the girl you love the most and bring her out on the floor. Grab the girl you love the most and bring her out on the floor. Grab the girl you love the most and bring her out on the floor. Grab the girl you love the most and bring her out on the floor.
Like it in front top.